couple things in the news I want to get into, and then we'll get into coffee and caffeine.
I'm already in it, brother.
You're in it, yeah. You're in, this is the
He's
this is the
bouncing.
coffee episode. You are bouncing. You're doing tricks on it.
That's what I'm saying. How do I minimize my usage so that I don't, burn out?
It looks like you're going full steam ahead.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you can really.
No more cups after this, right? This is probably too much. Yeah, 2 is good.
Yeah, I'd stick to 2.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
This is a great.
You're going to be sticking to 2 here in a little while.
Yeah, I'm already recording because I'm just like that.
You want to jump in?
Let's jump in, dog. Let's jump in like you do in the bathtub.
Never forget.
Oh, that is so funny. You're a funny guy.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Oh,
All right,
is so
3, 2, 1.
Oh no, we're starting right there, bro. Don't even.
No, that was the start. The clap is when the episode starts, Aaron. The clap is when it starts.
I disagree.
Well, that's the great thing about America.
Yeah,
But I'm closer to the levers of power than you are.
Yeah, this dictatorial. I'm gonna put my foot down. Episode started, Jack.
Well, you need a dictator sometimes.
Every now and then.
You don't know what you want. You need guys like me. You need men of action.
You're running for office right now, anyway. So
This country's going to hell, and I'm the only one that can save it. I'm wearing a suit and tie, which maybe I'll have better words today. No, that's already a bad start. That's a bad sentence. Maybe I'll be more eloquent today because I'm wearing a suit. You got lawyer PFT in the building.
why do you have a suit?
We're taping the Takey Awards for Part of My Take, which is our annual tradition. We do an award show, give out the best takes of the year, different categories. We awarded Lib of the Year. A very controversial Lib of the Year award went out not too long ago. I won't say who won, but I will say we have a special guest presenter from Down Under.
Oh, that's good.
Also, hand up, bad job on my part, guys. We were going to go to the RNC. We ended up not going, not because of any fear of getting involved in politics. We talk about politics a lot on the show. It's the biggest story in America right now, but because of just travel schedules and things like that, it didn't work out this year. But we were on the list to get in. I got a DM from our good friend Nick Adams USA.
I got an email from our good
Australia.
friend.
Oh, did he want to meet up?
Yeah, he wanted to link
I
up.
got emails from a couple people that would have been interesting to talk to.
Wait, go on.
Eric Trump reached out to us.
I
Bruh.
want Don Jr.
Yeah. Eric Trump, Nick Adams. I'm trying to think of other specific people. There were a lot of people who were Dennis Quaid.
Okay.
Because
Really?
I think he's playing Reagan.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And so him and I can't remember who his co-star is. I can look it up. But they wanted to come on to talk about the new Reagan movie.
What's your favorite Dennis Quaid movie?
Parent Trap. duh.
The one where he plays the guy that takes over the flight in mid-flight after the pilot has a heart attack, and he prays and then learns how to fly because God told him.
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's based on a true story.
The Rookie would be my answer.
The Rookie's a good one. Yeah, Rookie's a great one. I'm trying to think of other good Dennis Quaid movies. He's a big sports movie guy, right? He loves
Yeah.
sports.
A Dog's
other-
Purpose.
That movie's so sad.
What other
though.
sports movies has he done?
I would never watch a movie called The
Let's
Dog's
see.
Oh.
Was he in?
I'm more of a Randy Quaid guy myself.
Okay.
Randy Quaid we used to have a proper country when there were men like Randy Quaid walking around.
Ooh, Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson?
Yeah.
American Underdog. That's another
just-
one where he becomes a really old quarterback.
You're,
Oh,
think-
that's the Kurt Warner movie. He's a coach in it.
Oh,
I believe he
just
plays
kidding.
Dick Vermeil.
Oh,
Or does
yeah,
he play
yep.
Mike Martz?
I can tell you.
He was in Any Given Sunday too, right?
He is?
I think he's the quarterback that Willie Beeman replaced.
That sounds right.
Maybe that radicalized him.
Dennis Quaid is Dick Vermeil in that movie.
I love Dennis Quaid in The Day After Tomorrow.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Great film. The Rookie was outstanding.
So good.
Really good movie. Yeah.
Can you bring that sport coat to Arlington? There's a dress code in the major leagues.
Did you get goosebumps when you heard that the first time?
That's the second best film or TV moment of a husband telling his wife that he has made it to a professional sports organization. The first is involving clothing, actually. The first is Nathan Scott telling Haley, can you wear that green dress? Let's go to Charlotte, wear that green dress. Maybe we could go to a basketball game. I have to be there anyway. And then she says, you're in the NBA. Yeah.
Can we do a graphic of Big T's top 2 moments?
Yeah.
Where
a husband telling his wife that he has made it to a professional sports organization and telling her involving bringing clothing.
Yep. Got it.
That's a good list.
That is a good list.
People are going to get mad at that list.
No, that's undisputed.
Also, the movie where he learns how to fly based off prayer is On a Wing and a Prayer. So
On a Wing and a Prayer, great title.
On the nose.
Great title for it.
I found it. Have y'all seen the movie Frequency?
No.
That's so fire. All right. If you like sci-fi, you'll like it. So he has a daughter. He dies. It's early in the movie. It's not a spoiler. He dies. And then he used to teach his daughter how to build. No, was it him? I don't know. Some dude dies. He teaches his daughter how to communicate or use a radio, and they're looking for radio signals, and they figure out somehow, some way that the radio at the house is communicating with the radio that was at the house in the 50s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they solve a murder preemptively because they're yo, somebody's about to die. And I think it's his dad. Yeah. Oh shit, it's really dope. But somebody's about to die. Go here and stop the murder. It's really dope.
Should we just have Dennis Quaid on and just chat with him?
Just talk movies.
Yeah.
He's been in some bangers. I think I did see Frequency. How long ago? Was it back in the day?
2000.
Yeah.
2000. Yeah.
I feel like I did see that at some point.
God damn, 2000 is back in the day now, huh?
It is back for sure. When does back in the day start?
That's relative, man. My back in the day is I would say 90s. It's back in the day.
Yeah, but I mean, Frequency was back in the day.
I guess it was, yeah. Well, see, I guess back in the day is ever growing, because now back in the day for me is probably it's not the 90s no more. That's just when I think of back in the day. So now back in the day is probably 2010.
Yeah,
No,
I'd say 30 years plus. So 94 is where back in the day starts.
You ain't even 30 yet.
Well, I know, but back my day, obviously. But I'm saying just back in the day, generally, 30 years. Because 20 wasn't 2004. I remember 2004. That wasn't that long ago.
So you're saying you can't say back in the day unless you're 30?
Yeah, I don't think
if you're referring to stuff you remember, you were just saying what year, and I'm like, if I were to put a number on it, I'd say 30.
I think there's a difference between back in the day and back in my day.
Correct.
Okay.
So
see, back in my day was only 2009.
That was your day?
Yeah.
Was that Arian Foster's NFL career?
That was back in my day.
That was back
exactly.
That was my rookie year. That was. Well, that'd be back in my day too, though.
Yeah.
Tomato.
We're sharing days.
Yeah, you can two people can have a day.
Get your own day.
President's Day. Lincoln in Washington.
Totally. I don't know where you came up with that, but
two people can have a day.
Oh, I see. I see.
Interesting to think about, because back in the day, I would say that's before you were born. It just starts at your birth.
Okay, but you can remember when if you're in your 60s and you're back in the day, you're talking about your experiences.
Back in my day.
Okay,
I think that's the back in my day.
Okay,
I think I may have used it incorrectly when talking about the Dennis Quaid film Frequency.
So back in my day is when you were younger. Back in the day is prior to you.
Yeah,
okay.
Before you. That makes sense to me, at least. Where did we go to? Oh, we were talking about Dennis Quaid movies. Also in Traffic. Traffic's a great movie. Great movie. Although it did a disservice to America, because I think Traffic was the one movie that really pushed it over the edge, where people think about Mexico and they're like, oh, everything's dusty and has a yellow tint to it when you go to Mexico. But when you actually go there, it's very nice. It's green. It's normal. Have you ever seen Traffic, Big T?
Never heard of it.
I could tell. Arian, have you seen it?
I'm maybe. Who is Dennis Quaid?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Horrible with names.
Michael Douglas, I think. The girl that looks like Julia Stiles but isn't Julia Stiles. Am I the only one on the show that's seen Traffic?
Yes.
It looks.
I'm pretty sure it was like.
What is it?
Nominated for.
What is it
Erica
about?
Christensen is who you're referring to as Julia Stiles. That's not Julia Stiles.
Yep.
I think she's from Cleveland.
I'm looking at this
Just kidding, she's not.
poster. It doesn't.
It's about cocaine.
Benicio del Toro.
Yep. Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, you want to talk about an underrated goat, man? Don Cheadle, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really good. Hector Guzman is in there too, I think. It's a great movie. It's just all about cocaine trafficking.
Wait, it's about Ohio?
Why do you keep talking about Ohio, man?
I don't know. But it said it's the Ohio Supreme Court judge.
Oh, is it Ohio?
It says
I don't think I've seen this, though.
Ohio Supreme Court judge is appointed as the nation's drug czar, unaware that his own daughter is a heroin addict.
Yeah. Topher Grace is in it too.
Yeah.
Nah,
Did Topher Grace fall under the same Joseph Gordon-Levitt hate?
No, I don't think so.
I hate the name.
Yeah, Topher's a bad name.
Has he been on Part of My Take, or am I like making things up?
He has.
Yeah.
I believe he was on Part of My Take many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Yeah.
He was on Part of My Take. Topher Grace doesn't have that. I can see why you would say maybe he falls in the same category.
They kind of look alike.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I watched him on that 70s show first.
Right.
He always played like a self-deprecating, dorky guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I never had that hatred for him.
Also, is Dennis Quaid like a fairly religious man?
He is, yes.
Okay.
What gave it away?
Yeah.
Was it the movie where God told him how to fly a plane?
Filmed the remake of Footloose in my hometown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was about to say, you got to be very, very careful when you're talking about, like, God is telling me to fly this airplane. That hasn't always ended up that great. It's just a matter of perspective on that one. By the way, we're going to get into coffee in a little bit. Coffee is the topic of today's show. Arian just had his first cup of coffee a couple days ago. So we want to get into some of the history behind it and some of the weird stuff that's happened with coffee, why things have developed in this world, mostly because of coffee.
I got some good news for you, PFT.
Okay.
There's a possible, this is rumors,
Oh, I like this.
a Top Gun 3 is in the works.
Saw
No
that.
shit, really?
Yeah, man.
Glenn Powell said he's in.
I'm fucking excited for that. Because that may be my favorite movie-going experience since Avatar.
Yeah.
It was just because, like, I don't know, man. That my mom made me watch the movie when I was younger, so I was like, I knew of and I was like, that'll be a cool little sequel. And
I've
then when
watched. Yeah.
it came out, it was just like what I loved about it was just like it was apolitical, right? And not saying that political things can ruin things, but it just brought everybody together. It was like, this is a great movie, dog. It had no, it was a phantom bad guy. We don't have to argue about who the bad guy is. A phantom bad guy. And it's just a great movie. The plane scenes were amazing. What an amazing experience that was.
It was really good. Yeah, I've watched it like 9 times, and it's just you can almost turn your brain off and watch it, but also if you turn your brain on and watch it, it's still good.
Yep.
It's so good. I don't like to beg for things on this show, or just in life in general. But I would suck a dick to be an extra in Top
Okay.
Gun 3.
All right.
Any particular
Any penis?
role you're?
No.
Yeah.
Any role? No, it doesn't really matter.
I thought you was gonna say any particular dick.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, because I'd have to. I would get to have like at least 2 vetoes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tom
So
Cruise.
it's like on NCAA 3 randoms, and on your third one
Yeah.
you have to stay.
you have to stay on that one. Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, I would just love to be in that movie. I'm a flysexual, and I would love to be in that movie just be part of aviation history.
But do you have any particular role that you'd prefer, or
I mean, I'd like to be a.
bartender?
Why did you go with bartender?
I'm
right
just
off the bat?
I'm naming things that I remember from Top Gun. There's the bar.
There's a lot of pilots in Top Gun.
Sure, but you're not pilot material.
Why?
You know that.
Why?
Those are actors. They're not extras.
I've got laser focused eyesight. I've got almost perfect eyesight.
Yeah, but the extras aren't pilots.
I know more about flying than any of those actors do.
Okay.
except for Dennis Quaid. He should be in it. Top Gun 3. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there with Dennis Quaid. But I would like to be a pilot. I don't have to be a pilot. I understand I don't have the pilot look. Whatever.
What about a co-pilot? Backseat.
And what is the pilot look? Don't put yourself down.
Well, in the military, you have to have short hair. Yeah.
Wig.
Nobody wants a hippie flying their plane.
Wig.
That's very true. Yeah. What role would I want? I mean, I'd even be one of those one of the enemy pilots. You don't see their face at all.
I'd love to be a MiG. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Be maybe a Su-57.
Their planes are better.
No, they're not.
In the movie, bro.
Yeah, well, it's not the plane, it's the pilot.
Calm down, bro. Look at you getting all horny over planes and shit.
No, I feel like I could fit in somewhere. I could even be a hippie that's like protesting. I don't want the military to be here. I don't like pilots.
My coffee has arrived.
Oh, there we go. Perfect timing for it. Yeah, I'd be like, I could be a protester. I got the long hair. I can look like that. Maybe I could be like Tom Cruise's fuck up son. Oh, I like that mug. I'm not going to narrate what it says. But can I say that's so true? Like I agree. I think. Wait, do I agree with it?
Is it racist
I don't
to agree with
no.
that sentiment?
Now I'm fucked up now. Do I agree with that?
PFT said he endorsed every word that was on the cup.
I was about to say I like the meaning behind it, but I'm in a
wow.
I am in a
That's not bad.
briar patch right now.
Wow. What is this?
This is Folgers coffee with hazelnut creamer.
Folgers coffee with hazelnut creamer.
Sometimes you gotta get back to the
Arian's
basics.
like, I don't like coffee, and has the most simple coffee recipe like known to man. He's like, wait, this isn't bad at all.
This ain't that bad, man. You know what though? It could be I'm just getting old, and it's like once you pass a certain age, your taste buds turn off, and then coffee is the filler in between. That could be it.
I'd love to see Arian go from 0 to like 5 cups a day.
You start snorting coffee, ground up coffee bean.
Yeah, full addict. I like that for you, Arian, though. I love the fact that we got to watch you love coffee for the first time.
This is not that bad. This is my mom. You remember you asked if I have a coffee machine in my house. Lady friend just made me some coffee from my mom's stash in my house. Fuck around, have to re-up on the stash, moms. You're listening. This is all right here.
We'll have to send him Celeblo.
Yeah, we'll get you some coffee.
Wow, that is really. It actually tastes. I enjoy the taste. I don't like.
Now it's getting dangerous.
I don't like who I'm becoming.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna start like itching for it.
See, damn, God, that really tastes good.
This is how it starts.
Yeah, it's just like this.
This is how it starts, man.
Here we come, baby.
So yeah, just give me like a half second in Top Gun 3.
Could you be the guy like playing the piano in the bar?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Or the guitar.
Yeah.
We can play Great Balls of Fire. I'll play the piano. You play the guitar.
Yeah, I like that.
That would be lit.
I like that. I'll be even if it's just for like half second.
I don't know why I inserted myself in there, but
No, Arian, come along.
I got you.
Come along. This would be. But I mean, knowing Arian's acting ability, they probably just put him in the movie. They probably make him.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I
he's
got
been
some-
in like every movie already.
I got some chops, bro. I can cry on cue too. So
Are you serious?
Mhm.
That's awesome. Can you cry because let's pretend that your wingman just got shot down. Act like you're in a cockpit.
Okay.
Your wingman got shot down using an hypersonic R-74 missile.
Okay, of course.
You only have one AIM 120D left.
Mhm.
It's an AMRAAM, and your target is 30 miles away, and you have to make this shot count. But you're trying to shoot through the tiers.
Yeah, no, I love that you said all that, and you thought I was actually going to do that.
Oh, you're not going to do it?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Well, put me and Arian in Top Gun 3. We don't ask for a lot.
Good.
But that would be the best experience of my life, maybe. Arian, I got a question for you.
Shoot, homie.
Training camp has started.
Yuck.
Teams have reported Lamar Jackson has missed 2 days because of his butt, but he's back today.
But
Yeah, he's got diarrhea all the time. He misses like 4 practices a year with diarrhea, and
that's
so
not real. Come on.
yeah, no, I'm dead serious.
and like half a game
Well, he had to shit in that game one time.
I remember
he-
that. but
against the Browns.
it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. He's got a bad ass.
Doesn't he have actually like some sort of condition?
Does he? I would feel bad if he has like Crohn's or IBS or something.
Wait.
It's gotta be if you missing multiple. One is like, all right, you have to go. It happens. But if you're missing that, I don't want to. All right, what's the question, dog?
All right, so so training camp has started. The Houston Texans, I believe this is day 3, maybe day 2 for the Texans.
Mhm.
They've already gotten into a fight at training camp.
Yeah.
Is that too soon? When do fights usually
Hell
happen?
no. Fights happen all the time, bro. Listen, bro. Training camp fights, coaches will say they don't like them, right? What are we doing out here? We're going to get injured, bro. They don't like that shit. But deep down, they're like, all right, we got that dog in us. You know what I mean? Like, so I hope D'Amico, that's my dog, right? D'Amico Ryans, I hope he ain't over there talking about, we don't need to be fighting. We was in training camp 2000. Was it 2009? It might have been 2009, 2010. And I think we had New Orleans practice. We was practicing against New Orleans. We wasn't in 20 minutes into the practice. Miko started some shit with who was that? Who was that tight end with the long white
Jeremy
hair?
Shockey.
Jeremy Shockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fight. He popped that shit off right away, and that set the tone for the squad. Like, yo, we out here. Let's go. And then it just got, you grow like that. You grow with the fights. As long as you keep your helmet on, don't be stupid. Keep your helmet on, and it's gonna be a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of ego, dick dropping. But it is what it is. I love him. I love the fights.
So you said keep your helmet on. What about throwing a punch at some dude that's wearing a helmet?
You don't want to throw punches. You kind of want to mush with the palm of your hand. If you throwing punches with your helmet on, you're gonna break something, stupid.
So you do the palm mush.
Yeah.
I've seen it where you pop them real good, like
Yeah.
right under the chin of the face mask.
Yeah.
And it spins their head around real quick.
Yeah, you get in there. Yeah, you can throw a couple of rib shots too. That's cool.
I like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it brought you guys together having that experience. But that was against the other team.
From my experience. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Infighting is the same. It's the same vibe, and you'll get it a lot like when you do offense versus defense. Offense versus defense, it gets real chippy, especially like when the pads first come on. It gets real because everybody antsy, you know what I'm saying? Except for quarterbacks because they play a different position and kickers aren't really on the team. And so everybody else, you get those butterflies, you get all excited, like, yo, we about to go to, you know what I'm saying? We about to go to war.
Yeah.
I think people forget about that aspect of football a lot. It's you have to prepare yourself to be fucking psycho. You know what I mean? You have to mentally prepare yourself to get into the mindset of like, I'm gonna go hurt another man.
Mm-hmm.
That trains all year to try to hurt me. You know what I mean? That's a wild concept, but it's something that mentally you have to prepare yourself for. And so when egos collide, it gets chippy. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon because I think a lot of times, like you said, it was it'll either be the joint practices where the teams kind of like solidify around each other, circle the wagons. These are my guys. These are who I ride with. Or like you said, offense versus defense. Mm-hmm. Has it ever gotten to the point where, like, after training camp's over and the offense and the defense has been going at each other for like a month, has there ever been a situation where the locker room is very much divided along those lines where it's like you don't feel as close to the defense as you do to the offense? It's almost like you come from two separate backgrounds.
I've never experienced that. In all my football career, it's super contentious during training camp, and then once you play somebody else, that's kind of like it brings it all together. It's kind of like family infighting. I don't know if you ever had, like fights with your family. I can call my family all the names in the world. I can say whatever I want to, but you can't say shit about my family because once you do, like, I'm ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that vibe, and so it's always. I'm sure it's happened in the past on some teams, but I've never experienced it. But that's more of like a personal vendetta thing where like guys really don't like each other and like on some personal shit that don't got nothing to do with football.
Yeah, it's a annual passage. That's how you know football's back. It's the first fight at training camp.
How bad is training camp?
Looking back, it's horrible. like looking back, I don't have no interest in doing anything close to that. During it, it's so routine that it's kind of just part of it. I hated it then. It's a lot easier. Like I was in the middle of the transition, so we used to do our 2 days. We used to have padded practices on both days, As the league progressed, it was only like 1 padded practice per day. I'm unsure if they're still doing 2 padded practices. I don't think so. But that kind of shit is like trying to run when your body is beat up and sore, and trying to get physical with somebody when your body's beat up and sore. It's just a grind and it's hot as hell. And then you got coaches yelling. It's a very toxic environment that I'm glad I'm not a part of anymore. But like I said, it could build a lot of, like the great Kendrick Lamar says, you know what I'm saying? I discover myself when I fall short. So a lot of your shortcomings and a lot of your struggle as an athlete and as a human, it builds character. And so it's why, like you'll say, football is a great thing, especially youth coaches, but like it builds men. We could build men. It builds a lot of character, man. You kind of test the limits of what you can do mentally, and that part I enjoy. Overarching theme, you enjoy it, but like while you going through it, fuck that shit.
Did you guys have a hotel, or did you have to live in like a college dorm?
There was both. So like we had a hotel that was right by the stadium, and we used to walk, and then we would like, travel to go practice against other teams. And it would be like sometimes it was a hotel, sometimes like barrack vibes, dorm room vibes, but it was just like, whatever. But they usually treat you pretty good.
What do you do to pass the time? A lot of cards, video games?
A lot of bonding goes on, a lot of cards, a lot of dice, depending on, culture where you're from. A lot of dudes, just hang out. Yeah, video games, PS vibes, a lot of college football. Especially when like dudes was like playing, like to bring college football, they would love to do that.
Yeah, I feel like this year that's all that's going to be happening in training camp. Just college football video games.
Most definitely. 'Cause that's a huge thing. It's like you bang for your side when you're in the league. Like when you go to college, you super rep your city, like super where you from matters. And then when you go to the league, where you went to college matters. Like everybody like betting, and you know what I'm saying, like SEC's better now, the ACC, you get into those kind of vibes with your boys.
I love that. I love this time of year. Love Hard Knocks. Love just getting ready for football. Feeling like football is coming back. It's the best.
It's a vibe, man. It's a unique experience in America.
Yeah, so you guys had the hottest training camp, right?
When I was in the league, yeah, it was ranked the number 1. We had to practice in the morning because it was too hot, like to practice during the afternoon. So our practice had to be in the morning because the league wouldn't let us practice in the afternoon.
So what time would you get to the facility?
Like 5 a.m. You have to go through, like sometimes they're meetings, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you go straight to practice, but depending on the schedule that day, they get there like 5:30. Make sure, and as you get older, the earlier you get there because you have to do more to prepare your body for the day. And so you have to like get in a hot tub, get in a cold tub, the contrast, you get rubbed out, get worked on, get taped.
Pause.
That's been happening a lot for the Texans organization. It's kind of a cultural thing.
Hey man,
but 5 a.m. is too early to do anything.
Agreed. That's why you hear they invented this good stuff called coffee.
Yeah. So you get in at 5 a.m. every morning, and can you walk me through like your first training camp? Because I feel like your experience isn't what a lot of people think that it might have been. Because when you went into the league, it's not like you were slotted in to even be on the team.
Nah, no. It was when I got into the league. If you undrafted, ain't nobody looking for you to fill a roster spot. Coaches, GMs, nobody. They looking for you. You a camp body, is what they call you, right? So they need to fill a roster like full of the camps, right? And they don't have for the most part, they don't have no prejudices. Like if you could ball, that's what's up. And so I remember walking in at first. First, you do OTAs, and so you can kind of get a vibe, right? But a lot of the big time names ain't there. And so. And then have the rookie camp, right, where you kind of get acclimated to all the new guys, and then you vibe with each other, and then the next thing is training camp, and you walk in, and I just remember going to the stadium, and I see Benzes, I see some Bentleys, I see some Mercedes Benz, coming from where I'm coming from, like college was a struggle, and then where I grew up, this is not a lifestyle that I knew. It's just very intimidating because you're like, damn. These guys got money, right? And so that's the first thing I remember walking in. I was like, all these fucking spaceships. And then you walk in, and then first couple lockers I passed, my locker was like 4 lockers down from Andre Johnson, who's just now got inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? And at the time, he's like perennial All Pro. Everybody know Andre Johnson, and it's just intimidating. The shit he walk in, he don't speak at all ever, and so as a rookie, he not gonna just talk to you like that. And so I got a couple lockers down. And then rest in peace. I was locking right. My locker was right by Jacoby Jones, who just recently passed. He was cool. And he kind of like, showing me the ropes. Hey, Rook, go do this. Hey, Rook, do that. And as you kind of go along, you get a feel. I'm very quiet when I walk in. And then I remember walking onto the field finally on the first day. It's just intimidating. You see D'Amico Ryans, Pro Bowler, Mario Williams, Pro Bowler. You see Andre Johnson, Pro Bowler. You got Matt Schaub. You see all these cats who you've been watching over the years, and it's just very like, damn, self-doubt, right? There's a lot of self-doubt that goes on. Steve Slayton was the starting running back when I first got there, and he was a baller at West Virginia. I don't know if you remember Steve Slayton.
Yeah.
Him and Pat White. So all that shit going through your mind, because like the TV and heightens your perception. It kind of makes things a little more sexy than they actually are. And so when you're seeing all these cats that you are aware of, you start to doubt. Well, I did anyway. I started to doubt myself. But as soon as I got the ball in my hands, I was like, I do this. You know what I mean? I do this. And then you go out throughout the day, and he was like, I just convinced myself, dog, like they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like I do. They ain't magic, they ain't Superman. So if they better than me, they're gonna have to show me. And I ran with that narrative, and over time it proved to be a good narrative to run with. But it's a very intimidating process at first. Coach is yelling, you just a rookie, you got to prove yourself all over again. It's hectic, man.
Yeah, it sounds like the self-doubt would be hard to get over. So were you just building off little wins that you'd have? Like you'd have a good rep. That's another little building block of confidence. Coach gives you a word of encouragement. That's another little building block.
Well, you don't get much words of encouragement as a rook, but the one thing I did that I think separated me from a lot of my peers, because one thing that pissed me off was like I'll see an undrafted dude who I bonded with because the first round is like our first rounder was Brian Cushing, and then our second round was Connor Barwin. They're millionaires just by stepping up on the thing, right? So you don't really relate to them in that sense. You do because they're rookies, but they're going to be there, right? They paid them $1 million. They're going to be on the team. We're all vying for a spot. We banging for spots. And so when they fuck up, come on, get it together, Rook. If we was to fuck up, hey, bro, you're lucky to be here and you're wasting my time. You better get your shit together. Like, we'll cut you today. And like, those are two different mindsets where it's like, this is a learning curve I have to get through versus if I fuck up, I may not be here tomorrow. And you see that all the time. Them revolving doors from undrafted dudes, you'll see one dude and the next day his locker's gone, all his shit gone, and you just never hear from him again.
Did you ever have that fear? Like, was there a moment
every day?
Was there like a specific moment though where you're like, oh, I fucked up?
There was mad at me. One time I had that fear. I had a lot of irrational confidence, but this is where my confidence came out. So I'll show you what the fear is. But this is my confidence came on. What I was about to say is what I did that was a lot different than my peers was like I was like, I know how coaches think. Coaches hate MAs, which they call MAs are missed assignments, right? Coaches hate that. They don't tolerate it. If you fuck up full speed, but they hate missed assignments. And I know how coaches think as far as like they're super horny about their systems. They all think they're geniuses. They all think they have the magic playbook. And so it's like, okay, if I'm gonna fuck up, like, I should have hit this hole. Or I didn't make that guy miss. I'm not gonna fuck up because I didn't go where I was supposed to go, or I didn't know my assignment, right? And that's something I could control. So I just stayed up, burnt the candle into where I knew the playbook back and forth, and so I was never going to make a misassignment. And so there was never any doubt of what they were going to call that I didn't know what I had. And once you do that, the game slows down, and you kind of get a little bit more confidence. My problem was like I was a bit of I'm a rebel, and I don't like being told like what to do and shit like that. And so I could be a little bit mouthy. And so I remember one time we playing. This was actually on. I think this was on Hard Knocks. No, not Hard Knocks. It was on one of these. I don't know. They were just filming some training camp stuff, It was my rookie year, and we're going against New Orleans. And we're going against New Orleans, and I break off a run, and then I didn't finish. Running backs, they always want you to finish through a certain amount of yardage.
Mm-hmm.
I started talking shit to the dude that I was being chippy with. I just turned around and started jawing at him, right? Gary Kubiak, who's the head coach at the time, he said, "What the fuck are you doing?" He said, "You better fucking finish through the goddamn blah, blah, blah." Started cussing me out, so I finished all the way down. He said, "You finish all the way through," and it was like all the way down, so I had to run like 100 yards and then jog all the way back. And then he pulled me to the side. He's like, "Listen here, like you are in no position to be any kind of like that." He's like, "You ain't nobody here." He said, "You better just do your fucking job and get back." He said, "We'll cut your ass." And I was like, "God damn." It's just like, it's just a different, it's like, it's a scary, because like at the time, like my daughter was, there's a woman that was pregnant with my first daughter at the time. I'm in training camp. I'm vying for a job, right? So if I get cut, I got to figure out how to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Like it's that, viable. And so from then on, I was like, I'm just gonna shut up and do my job. You don't have any leeway to give your personality at that level.
Yeah. Why are we moving, Daddy? Well, Daddy didn't finish his run.
Facts,
Daddy only ran for 40 yards after he got to the second level.
Left guard didn't pull around, sweetie. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a super high pressure situation. And as training camp progresses, I'm sure you feel your way, like you belong more and more until you start like inching up, nipping at people's heels on the depth chart. And then the last day of cuts, what happened there? Were you on the practice squad your rookie year?
Yeah, no, I got cut. Yeah. So I had pulled my hamstring midway through. I was working the way up because like I always tell like when I used to talk to like rookies or like young cats, I was like, "Yo, dog, you gotta be honest with yourself about where you at." And this could be applicable to life, honestly. Is you have to be honest with where you at. A lot of us have dreams and goals and ambitions, and we start from there rather than from where we at, right? So where you at? Why do they have these cats above you in the depth chart, right? Well, this guy does this better. This guy does this better. This guy does this better. Be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. And once I realized that, I was able to work on those things that I think they thought they were better than me at. And I slowly, like you said, started to chip away at that perception of why they think they're better at that specific thing than me. Mm-hmm. So they were keeping this older cat on it because he could block. Okay, well, you're not gonna block better than me because block is all will. A little bit of technique, but it's all will. And so I'm going against our number one draft pick, Brian Cushion, who I banged with him in the Senior Bowl too. And it's just, he's going full speed trying to murder all the running backs, right? He's trying to run through everybody, right? And I'm like, well, here it is, let's go. And so I stuck him, and that guy's like, okay, Rook, yeah. But nobody else want to do that. Steve Slayton didn't want to do that, the starter, and Chris Brown got ran through. And so that was my thing, was like, everything that you have a dude that you think is better than me, I'm gonna be better than him at that. Mm-hmm. And so after a while, my mindset was, I'm gonna do something every single day to make them feel me. I was talking about the coaches, like, you're gonna have to turn on this film and be like, yeah, I can't ignore that. That was nice. Can't ignore that. That was dope. And so that's what happened over time. Then I ended up I pulled my hamstring, and they tried to rush me back. They was like, you're gonna get cut if you don't come back. And I'm like, I can't run. And so I ended up coming back for the last preseason game, and it just wasn't full speed, and I couldn't do the things I know I could. And they ended up cutting me, but they saw the potential, so they kept me on practice squad. And I'll never forget my dude named Tutan Reyes. We were all in line they cut him, but we were all in line to like go talk to the GM. Like, cause if you got like, yo, bring your playbook, you either gonna get cut or put on practice squad. And so he's sitting there, and I was like, and it tells you what they gonna do, what they want to do with you, right? And I was like sitting there pissed. He's like, are they gonna let you go? Or I was like, they're gonna put me on P squad. And I'm destroyed because I'm like, I think my career is over. He's like, look, dog, that's the best thing that could ever happen to you. I was like, why? He's like, man, you can sit here, you can develop. Everybody know you got talent. Like, you can sit here and actually work on your craft, dog. He's like, do not hang your head. He said, just go to work. He's like, go to work, youngin. He was like 8 years in at the time. He's like, trust me, bro, this is the best thing in the world. And at the time, I was like, whatever, dog, old ass nigga. That's what I was thinking. Put me on P squad, ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me.
Was he getting cut or going on practice squad?
He was getting cut. He was a vet. I think it's like 10 years in or something like that.
He was probably pissed at you.
No. He was at that stage, when you 8 years in the league, you've seen so many dudes get cut. and go, and you've been cut and go. You're numb to the process. So you like, this is just part of it. It is what it is. Like a lot of the times, them cats, they're not 100% sure or that they make the right decision, and you're like, yeah, you know what I mean, or they know, like, yeah, there's a dude was better. He beat me out. It is what it is. Like, so he was not man. He was like an OG. Like, put his hand around me, like, dog, trust me, bro, you gonna be all right. And to this day, I know I let him know that, like, I appreciate that, because those little kind of things, like, is what sticks to you, like. And so, I got cut, got put on P Squad, and listen, P Squad checks was more money than I ever seen in my life. I was getting like $4,000 a week. I was like, shit, this is great. This is a great life. I go here, practice 3 days a week, work out. I'm like, I'm set. But I had made up my mind. I was like, my running back coach came up to me. I'm getting long winded. Let me know to stop, bro. This is coffee.
Yeah. 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 No, this is great. It's very interesting. So don't feel like you're getting long winded.
Okay,
I think people are interested.
So my running back coach comes to me. He says, "Hey, listen, we were on the fence about keeping you or not keeping you." He's like, "We decided to go with, the older guy, but you're right there." He said, "Don't slouch on the practice squad." He said, "Make them feel you." And I was like, "Bro, say less." And so every day, and this is where I developed a really large skill set, because the motto in the NFL is the more you can do. And so on practice squad, your job is to give the defense the looks that they're going against. So if they have a big time running back, I was the best athlete on the practice squad. So if they have a big time running back, I wear that jersey. And they say, yo, emulate this, do that, right? When we're doing, if they have like a big time tight end, there's like, okay, Arian, you play tight end. So now I'm playing running back. I'm running routes against our first team defense. I'm playing receiver. I'm playing slot. They even had me play defense. They had me play defense. So I was Troy Polamalu, right?
Aaron, pause real quick, because Jerry's going to sit down with us.
Okay.
He's going to talk a little bit about cyber stuff, and he'll join us for the coffee discussion too. But since you just started talking about Troy Polamalu, I want to make sure that Jerry could hear it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love this.
So Arian's talking about his first experience. He's also had caffeine for the first time in his life. So
First time?
Yeah.
It's like that. I've had caffeine, but it's like this is my first coffee cup. Like,
he's never had a cup of coffee.
Oh, he never had like a cup of coffee.
Never had a
Okay.
cup of coffee before.
Wow.
So he's talking to us about his experience in training camp.
Ooh,
he
I
went
love
in.
this.
He went in as an undrafted rookie because he was too soft to run the 40-yard dash fast
Okay,
when he
there
was
you
doing
go.
his pro
All right.
day.
Yeah, I was going to tell you. I was looking up how long you were on practice squad. Don't read the pre-draft portion of your Wikipedia page. It's rough.
Oh, that's the reason why I'm a multimillionaire. I read that shit. I ate that shit up.
Yeah.
Love that.
So he gets into camp. He's undrafted. He works his way up. Every day he thinks he might get cut. Eventually people start to notice him. And then at the end of camp, they put him on practice squad. So now he's talking about his mentality on practice squad, how he went from there to get a job.
Love it.
Yeah, so I was just saying how, like, when you're on P squad and what your job is to give the defense, as an offense player, your job is to give the defense the looks of the offense that they're going against, right? So if they have like a big time running back, they put me at running back. They have a big time receiver. I was at receiver, trying to, give the look to our DBs, tight end, slot, whatever the case may be. And even because they recognize that athleticism, and they was like, okay, come beat Troy Polamalu. So I had a jersey on as Troy Polamalu, and they was like, just have no, because like they'll give you cards, right? They have these cards that they set up. All right, against this play, we want to see this look, right? And so Troy Polamalu is a safety, right? And so they know by watching film, Troy Polamalu does not give a fuck what the call is. He does whatever he wants to do, right? And it works a lot, and sometimes he gets burnt, but like, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason. And so instead of like, if they're in cover 2, they was like, okay, if it's cover 2, do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. I was like, so I could like blitz the A gap. They said, line up in the A gap. Doesn't matter, because that's what Troy did. Troy was like, didn't matter what they was in. Troy did whatever he wanted to do, and he had that freedom. And so as I'm doing that, they recognizing the athleticism, and like so I started to get in fights with. I remember D'Amico Ryans. He was like, hey Rook, I might have told the story before, but like I had cut him up on defense, and it was like, hey Rook, we just trying to get a look, man. Slow your ass down. I was like, are you gonna feed my daughter? I was like, all right then. I kept it pushing, and so much so it's like yo, he's cutting up on offense, he's cutting on defense, he's doing his thing on special teams looks. He's like, we got to get him up somehow, some way. They pulled me up like midway through the season. They're like, you can just go do special teams. I said, bet. I was like, and my mentality was, I'm gonna be the best special teams player that you got. So much so as a dude I went to college with came. I played like 3 or 4 games, right? Maybe it was like 5 games. And I was on punt return, kickoff, I was on all special teams. I did it all. And the dude came up to me, he's like, hey man, keep grinding. Our coach was like, yo, this is they special teams guru. So they was calling me a special teams guru on the other team. And I'd never played special teams ever because I was always the starter in every place that I ever went.
I feel like guru is a term that's used almost exclusively for special teams, right?
Yeah, you can't be an offensive guru unless you're a coach.
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
A coach can be a guru, but for a player,
yeah.
it's got special teams. That's the only thing you can be a guru.
Coffee question real quick. What do you do when it starts to get cold? Did you just re-up or I just got to bang it out?
Yeah.
Drink that shit.
No, get another. Well, here's the thing. You're not drinking it fast enough.
Well,
so you got to step your game up a little bit.
It's hard.
That's fair. I would fill it up again.
Okay,
Or
let's
you
go
can
re-up
get, Arian, I got my mom one of these for Christmas. You can get a mug warmer. And so it's basically a coaster, but it keeps your coffee at a certain temperature.
That's a great
that's right. I've
invention.
seen those. Those are
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
a fucking genius. Who
It's like the
invented
best
that?
gift I've ever gotten my mom.
Wow. Keeps it warm. Nice.
Yep. But you can choose the temperature. So if you want it to be like 130 versus like you want it to be like 190, like ha.
That's amazing. This is absolutely a drug. This is 1,000% a fucking.
Well, what other
narcotic.
caffeine did you have? Like energy drinks?
Yeah, like shit like that.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
gotcha.
And it's just not. Is it different in coffee? Because it feels different.
I think there's some coffee
I
that's
don't
like
think I've
really
ever
strong.
talked this much on this fucking podcast.
Here's the thing: is like, Arian took his first sip. He's like, "Holy shit, this is awesome! What is this?" And they were like, "Folgers." Yeah, we'll get you some Stella Blue. I like this. Is actually a great endorsement of coffee in general. It's just watching Arian light up like this.
Yeah.
The other day he had a Frappuccino mocha, some shit. I don't know. It was the first time he'd ever had like coffee. So this is the first time he's really had coffee.
Yeah.
An actual cup.
Yeah,
this
like
is an
an
actual cup. And I don't remember what she put in it, but it's my mom's
Hazelnut
creamer or some shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, anywho, I don't even know where I was, dog.
Just being the best you were special teams guru.
Yeah. So, so I started balling out special teams, and then one of the running backs had gotten hurt, and they were like, "All right, man, we know what you can do. We're gonna give you a shot." There's a cool little story like that, but I feel like I'm talking too much. So, long story short, we ended up playing. We played Miami and St. Louis, and I started on both those games. I had like 100 yards in both games. And then Miami and New England actually. And we beat New England last game, and they played all their starters. It was the coolest shit. I thought it was the coolest shit in the world because I scored the game-winning touchdown against the Patriots. And I watched the TV cast back, and it was me scoring, and then they cut to Tom Brady, and then they cut to me. And like just as a kid, like knowing who Tom Brady was, and I helped beat him. Like it was just one of those. Okay, this is crazy. I'm here.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's dope. Cool. It's a dope moment for myself and my family.
It's a good story.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I love hearing stories of guys that had to scrap and fight to make a team out of college. Like we've talked to Will Compton about it and everything that he had to do as a linebacker to, stay up all night, make sure kind of what you were talking about with assignments. Like you have to know the playbook as good as the coach knows it because you can't afford to be out of position. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing that they'll look at and be like, oh, this guy can't retain information. Yep. And
but just the first rounders will fuck up on a daily. And it's like, hey man, you got to get this right. They be holding their hands, dog. And then the other cats would be like, hey bro, if you fuck up again, I don't even want to see you today. Just go take your shit off. Like they do shit like that. And it's like, bro, god damn.
So Jerry, there was some news that came out a couple days ago. I tagged you in it on Twitter, but I wanted to get your feedback because we haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
There was a website, I believe it was Pro Football News. Mm-hmm. They did their ranking of like the 6 guys most likely to get cut, or like 6 big names that could be cut.
Yeah.
And Russie was number 1.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. I mean, they bought him in for no money. There's literally no reason to cut him. Even if he stinks, it doesn't cost you anything.
Who's on a depth chart?
Justin Fields, and then you also have the kid from John's Plumley or something. What's his name?
John Reese Plumley.
John Reese Plumley, yeah. So he's on the depth chart as well.
Mason?
Mason is not. Mason's in Tennessee now. Yeah, so he left.
I got to do a full reset on some of these
Yeah.
moves that happened in the offseason.
Yeah, but the Rusty stuff I don't understand. I mean, also there was this. It's going to be hard for me to find, but Russell Wilson had a better year than Jalen Hurts last year, and then they look at Jalen Hurts like, oh, this is a top 10 quarterback. This guy's incredible.
By what metric did he have a better year?
Touchdowns, interceptions. Also, I think completions, stuff like that. But overall, he had a better year than Jalen Hurts. And they look at Jalen Hurts like, oh, this guy's top 10. This guy's incredible. And then teams and fans look at Russell Wilson like, oh, he's washed. He should retire, which I don't really understand. I get it. He had a pretty shitty year 2 years ago, but I think he still has some stuff left in the tank. I mean, I've talked to some Steelers players, and they say that he's a winner. Like he's a competitor. Like he's going to compete. A lot of people think he's going to get the starting job, which I believe too. I think he's in pole position. The future may be Justin Fields, but I think right now it's Russell Wilson.
Maybe 4 years from now, Justin Fields.
2 or 3.
So Russ is a bridge.
I think that's the way they've brought him in for, and the way they look at it. Yeah, but I mean, who knows? Like if Russell Wilson goes out and wins 11 games, wins a playoff game or two, you're going to pay him next year.
I think Russell Wilson is brought in because they don't want to waste the rest of TJ Watt's career.
I can see that. And they've done a pretty good job of wasting it.
Yeah.
The last 6 years, 7 years, you know. So I could see that. They also have some young stars on defense as well who are incredible that you don't want to waste their primes either.
Herbig?
Herbig's next up. I golfed with TJ, and I had a conversation with him, and I was like, and Nick Herbig was there, and me and TJ were, we were playing cart golf. So we hit 2 shots next to each other, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Were you intentionally doing that? You'd see TJ hit a shot.
No. I was not doing that. Just so happened to be the case. And then Nick Herbig's shot was on the other side, so I was like, "It's a good time for me to talk about Nick Herbig, who we're also golfing with." I was like, "He's pretty fucking good, TJ." And he's like, "Yeah, he's next up. He's pretty fucking good, dude." It's just crazy. I didn't understand these athletes. Like, dude, they watch everything they fucking eat. They weigh themselves like twice a day. Arian, did you used to do that stuff? Like making sure your weight, like TJ was even talking about these specific cleats that he uses that got discontinued, and he used a couple different other cleats and he hated it because he felt so like slow in them. They watch exactly what weight they're playing at. Next week they're going to drop 3 pounds, see how they feel. Maybe they'll gain an extra 5 pounds, see how they feel. It's just crazy.
It's Ravens week. They put on an extra 5 pounds.
Yeah, like it's crazy how much goes into it. And also TJ, the burger he ordered, no bacon, no cheese, just a plain burger. It's
meat.
Just, yeah, he's a big meat guy, big milk guy too.
That's very Wisconsin. Yeah.
He also told me this trick that I just tried 2 nights ago, which is incredible. Fairlife chocolate milk.
Yeah.
50% of that in a glass. Then you put the other 50% whole milk. Doesn't matter what whole milk. You load it up heavy ice. It is incredible.
So it's like half chocolate milk.
Yeah, it's incredible though.
Okay.
It is so good.
All right.
Wait, so I thought you were going to say with the ice you blend it. And
No.
make it
No.
So just ice and
cold.
milk.
Ice cold, yeah. Ice and milk. And TJ said be wary because obviously you don't work out. So you can't afford to be drinking this every day, which I get that.
It's like a dessert drink.
Yeah.
Did you weigh yourself, Arian?
Oh yeah, you got to be. They have limits for everybody, and so you have to make weight or you get fined. Like, and when I was in my organization, it was every pound you're overweight is $500.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, so if you come in, and it was more for the old linemen, like because the skill position players, you kind of stay at a certain, you know what I mean? But like fullbacks, tight ends, O-linemen, it can get, as the season goes on, you get less and less stringent on your diet. And so I've seen guys get fined $2,000-$3,000.
Wow.
What if you just don't pay? Like if Andre Johnson came in overweight and they're like, yeah, you owe us $2,000. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to pay that.
Well,
Probably
okay,
just take it out of your check, right?
there's levels. You're not gonna find Dre. You know what I mean? Dre.
Okay, gotcha.
To this day, I don't know what the fuck Dre does. I went to a game 2 years ago, and he is a part of the organization. And so I went to go say what's up to him, and we walked around. I'm like, what do you do? He's just walking around free willy nilly, right? Like I'm like, what do you do here? What is your job description? He's like, I'm Dre. Fair enough, my brother.
Arian, did you see him getting the Hall of Fame jacket? Did you see that, the induction to the Hall of Fame that came to his house? It was really emotional. It was awesome.
I didn't. I bet.
Oh, you'd like it. It was really good.
I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, Drake's one of the more humble. Like I said, I was telling that story earlier. I didn't talk to him like my entire rookie year. Like we just didn't even ever speak until the last. This is a funny story. I didn't talk to him like my whole rookie. Because Drake just don't talk. He's not a talking kind of guy, and so we didn't really speak to each other. Like this is Drake doesn't talk. And then we play in Miami. He's from Miami. And that was one of the last games that I got to start. And we in the huddle, and we with the 4-minute drill, what they call a 4-minute drill, and which is like you got to run the clock out in order. And if you get a first down, game over, right? And so, like I said, Dre don't really speak. His presence was just there. And so right before the last drive, we gotta go down. We gotta get a couple first downs to win the game. Dre turned to me and he said, "Hey, Arian," and I turned. I'm like, "What's up, Dre? Run us up out of here, man." And I was like, "Okay, man." I was like, "I'm gonna do it for you, man." Dre don't ever speak, so I was like, "That's dope." But yeah, it's dope that he was always my GOAT. So that's my man.
Very underrated player. I feel like he's a player that's gotten lost a little bit recently when you talk about like some of the all-time greats.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Truly an all-time great.
He's never on anybody's list.
Yeah,
which is because he's a victim of, bro. He had like 30 different quarterbacks, bro. Like, and he still put up the numbers he did. Like, imagine if he had a stable, like, because the majority, like, not the majority, a lot of Hall of Fame receivers have Hall of Fame quarterbacks. A lot of them. If he had any kind of close to that caliber, he'd have been a fucking dog. Like, he'd have been unreal.
Yeah. We got some other news stuff that I want to get into before we do. It's brought to
Re-upped, by the way.
There we go. Second cup,
baby.
Love that. Oh, I didn't even see that go down.
Oh, while y'all was drinking, I was like, it's too cold. I gotta throw this one back. Pause.
I feel like you might have to leave the podcast in about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
go to the bathroom.
Oh, wow, what was
Let
it happen.
Yeah,
Let it happen.
Yeah, you'll find
out.
It's part of life. But this podcast brought to you by ButcherBox. ButcherBox, baby. Get incredible deals on premium cuts from ButcherBox. Deals this good are hard to come by at the grocery store. With ButcherBox, easily find high-quality meat and seafood that you can trust. Get 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork-raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. Can we get some ButcherBox delivered to the office?
I was just
you had the
saying,
pork chop?
can I get some of this?
Very good from them.
It's very good. Can we ask to see if we can get some ButcherBox?
Yeah,
So
let me get on that.
I'm gonna be bouncing around a lot the next couple weeks. Just fair warning. Going to next 2 week schedule is Seattle, Austin, Columbus, Nashville,
Wow.
Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland,
What's this for?
and then
EMT?
back. Just a lot of different stuff.
Is this the last time we're going to see you till September? What's the...
I will be back on Monday,
okay.
so I'll be here for Tuesday's show, and then on Wednesday I can probably call in for a little bit, but I will be out of town. I wouldn't say that I would be on the full show next Wednesday, and then the week after that is Grit Week, and I'm going to be gone that entire week. That's what happens every year around this time. But then I'll be back, and then after I'm back from that, I'm planning on grilling out a lot. I'm planning on using the rooftop grill, maybe having some people over. Some ButcherBox would be fantastic for that. I would love to have some ButcherBox meat at my place, and then I can present my meat to all my guests. ButcherBox is humanely raised, no antibiotics, no added hormones. You can get customized box plans delivered right to your doorstep with free shipping. There's a variety of high-quality cuts at an amazing value. Get exclusive member deals, recipe inspiration, tip, and more with ButcherBox. Sign up for ButcherBox today by going to butcherbox.com/dose. Use code DOSE at checkout. Enjoy your choice of bone-in chicken thighs, top sirloins, or salmon in every box for an entire year. Plus, you get $20 off. That's great. They'll toss in some bone-in chicken thighs, which, by the way, that's the most flavorful cut of chicken. A bone-in chicken thigh, it can't be beat. I do love chicken wings, but the flavor that's in the bone-in chicken thighs. Top sirloin or salmon in every box for an entire year when you go to butcherbox.com/dose and use code DOSE at checkout. Butcherbox.com/dose, promo code DOSE at checkout. Okay, a couple things in the news I want to get into, and then we'll get into coffee and caffeine. First
I'm already
of all,
in it, brother.
You're in it, yeah. You're in it. This is the
bouncing.
coffee episode. You are bouncing. You're doing tricks on it.
That's what I'm saying. How do I minimize my usage so that I don't, burn out?
Don't drink it every day.
It looks like you're going full steam ahead.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you can really.
No more cups after this, right? This is
No.
probably too
Yeah.
much. Yeah, 2 is good.
Yeah,
All right.
I'd stick to 2.
All right, cool.
This is a great.
You're going to be sticking to 2 here in a little while.
Actually helps you sleep at night too, Arian. If you drink a cup about like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
I'm calling for that one.
Jerry, big news yesterday in the world of sports, and also Big T. I actually want to hear from all you guys on this because I think you'll have a good perspective on it. Did you see former President Trump golfing with Bryson Dechambeau?
Of course. Why? What a silly question.
I saw some of the highlights. I was unable to watch the entire episode.
He's nice. He's nice.
So he had an eagle, right? Now let's set it straight. They were playing from the front
Yes.
tees because Bryson does a series on YouTube where it's breaking 50 and it's a scramble, right?
Yep.
And you have to try to break 50 strokes. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On the front 9.
18.
No, 18.
Oh, on 18.
18.
Breaking 50
That's,
or
that's
9.
pretty
Yeah,
easy to do on the front.
Yeah,
end.
I was going to say. I was getting lost in my sentence and then I thought. And I was like, so you have to break 50 on 18 holes, the two of them. And Trump got a natural eagle on one hole.
Yeah.
It was like a 210-yard par 4, right? From the front.
Yeah,
front
from the
tees?
front tees.
I think it was a par 5.
Was it?
It
Because
had, it had to be a hole out if it was a par 4.
Yeah, it was a par 5.
No, but I think he drove the green.
Yeah, he put it to 4 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he put it to 4 feet.
And then he made the putt.
And they made
It
a putt.
was a par 4 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people were shocked that Trump could actually play golf. He does like to cheat at golf. Jerry, can we agree on that?
We'll define it.
Define cheat. Okay. Okay. So like a few years ago, he had a tournament at his club, and then he played at a different golf course that day. And he said that his score at that different golf course would have won the tournament at his golf course. So he declared himself the champion of
That's
the tournament.
when you're
he
the
didn't play in.
boss, you can do it.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
also see him driving in the cart on the green?
Yeah.
Just didn't care at all.
Yeah. That's not cheating. That's just a boss move.
Yeah.
Listen here, Rick Riley. This whole thing was on film, and he fucking smoked it. So
Yeah.
he was pretty good.
He likes to have people that they call him Pele because
Okay.
him and his caddy like to kick his ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes improve his lie a little bit. Nothing you wouldn't expect from him.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the more ridiculous things that some people are like. That's the reason why I don't like Donald Trump because he cheats at golf. Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
The man
He plays
can-
typical old dude golf.
Yes.
Old country club dude golf. That's when you play with old dudes. They all play the exact the same. They don't have a lot of length because they're old, but they all hit it. They just hit it. They've been hitting it for years. They hit it straight.
Yeah.
And every now and then when the lie's unfavorable, they move that shit. Go on about your day.
I do the
Score.
same thing. I definitely move my ball sometimes.
I like to play it as a lies. I ain't gonna lie.
When you're not in like a competition, like you're playing just with a couple buddies.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless we're like betting on it.
exactly. Yeah, that's different.
In which case, then you have to
Yeah.
kind of be honest. But so I was surprised at how good his swing was and
Yeah.
how straight he hit the ball. His putting stroke is just
Crazy.
But
wild.
it goes in.
It's he didn't have. There was one putt that I was dying at. It was like probably 30 feet away. He hit it really right, and it never broke left. And as soon as he hit it, he's like, "That's got a chance." It just never broke.
And at the
back.
end, he goes, "That doesn't break.
Yeah.
That just doesn't break."
But the way he hits it, he like tries to put spin on it or something.
Yeah, he does like a little twist, like
Yeah,
a
it's
little
weird.
wrist twist at the end.
It's weird.
Did him and Bryson get along?
Yeah, I'd say so. I say so.
He only called him partner.
Partner, yeah.
He exclusively referred to Bryson as,
As
partner.
partner.
I like that. So Bryson, he seemed like, I don't know, in the clips that I saw, he seemed like he was giddy.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like-
think he was a
oh,
little
yeah,
nervous too.
He was
definitely nervous.
starstruck for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
And so yeah, Trump. I think if that match happened between him and Biden,
Yeah, I mean,
99.5 is my line of strokes.
Strokes?
Yeah.
Trump gave him 20.
I forget what he said, but it would so Trump would shoot what? 80?
yeah, probably 80, 80
Okay.
82, somewhere around there.
Biden is not breaking 200.
Yeah, if you played strokes all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
no,
never
no shot.
seen Biden swing. Let me
I
try
mean,
to
I've
Google
seen
that
him
shit real
walk,
quick.
and I can imagine that he can't swing too well.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
honestly,
and then he said, I'll play, and only if you carry your bag.
Yeah.
Bro,
I
you
mean,
can't
give it a
carry your
rest.
glove. Okay?
Arian, what do you shoot nowadays?
I'm still in the 80s. I've hit a low. I'm going through a couple
Okay.
swing changes right now.
I think that would be a good match, Arian versus Trump.
That'd be awesome.
dog walking,
I don't know. Did you see the
Bro.
video?
bro. Yeah, bro. Listen, bro.
Well, true. They were playing from the
He
front.
playing
tees.
from the red tees.
That's
I
true,
play.
that's
I
true.
play from the tips.
True. Okay, that's a good point.
But they only played from the red because
If
of
we play for the
concept
red
of
tees,
video.
I'm driving with my 4-iron all day. Easy money.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I would like to see that match.
That'd be
Dial it up,
incredible.
Donald. I'll convince you why we all need healthcare in the middle of it.
Wouldn't that be something if, like, by the end of it, you guys became best friends?
I've always said, bro, I don't think I would dislike Donald Trump. Like, as a dude, I think that he has some questionable past things, may or may not be unfavorable to minorities, but like, he funny as shit. And I'm not sitting here. I know people gonna hear this and be like, "Oh, you like that?" I don't like the nigga, but I think I would probably like the nigga.
That's a great quote.
Playing around a golf with him it would be electric.
And there's a reason why like all the celebrities and stuff used to like love to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I think he's a narcissist. I think he's full of shit. I think he's a pathological liar. And so for those reasons, we wouldn't get along. But like, I have people in my family who are pathological liars. So it's like I can get along with anybody. But like when we talking policy, brother, I don't agree with you. But that's also like, I'm sorry, it's coffee, man. Stop me from talking.
Well,
zooming.
I'm thinking back to to most presidents that we've had, at least recently. On the golf course with them, I think most dudes would get along with most presidents, most regular people. Like Joe Biden on the golf course, I don't know if people would like get along with him that well. Maybe like 10, 20 years ago, he was probably like a pretty friendly guy.
Yeah.
I think, Jerry, if you golfed with Obama,
Yeah, I could see that.
I think you'd like Obama.
He's a big sports guy.
As a person,
Yeah.
like just hanging out away from everything else.
I could see that. Yeah, he's a big sports guy.
Yeah, I think you would. I think you and Bill Clinton would get along on the golf course.
Oh, Bill Clinton be a time.
Yeah.
He'd be fun. I think he would be.
That's the thing, though. Most people will get along with most people if you check your views at the door. Like me and Big T don't agree on pretty much anything, but that's the homie. You know what I mean? Like that's the homie. Like that presidency gets a little slippery though, because there's a lot of war crimes going on. I gotta pocket those for a little bit. But other than that, we might get along.
Yeah, golfing with Reagan. I bet Reagan would be a great hang on the golf course.
Yeah.
Carter probably not so much. I don't know, but great person.
Yeah.
Good person to go to church with.
You don't think you'd have fun with Jim?
I don't know how.
We'll get along at a charity event.
Yeah, I don't know how fun Jimmy Carter is or was. I guess is.
Yeah, I don't know if he's fun.
Why you keep trying to kill him, bro?
He's a nice guy.
Did you see that went viral yesterday?
Yeah, everybody trying
What?
to kill him, dog.
People reported that Jimmy Carter died yesterday.
Really?
And then, it was funny. I was sitting in the part of my take studio, and then me and Hank are talking, and then I hear Big Cat outside screaming at somebody like, Jimmy Carter died. Jimmy Carter died. And I'm like, oh my God, Jimmy Carter, he's dead, because we're about to record the Takeys, and every year we give the Still Alive Person of the Year award out. And Jimmy Carter's won for the last 2 years. And so we're like, oh shit, we got to redo the Takeys. But I hear Big Cat yelling this. And then I go online, I look it up, and there's a giant press release that looks like it was sent out from Jimmy Carter's family, or I don't know what it is, but it looks official. And if you read it and you get to the bottom, it says like Jimmy is best known for ruining things with the Soviet Union, not getting hostages back.
Wow.
It was like very clearly not
Yeah.
written by his people. But yeah, he beat death once again. And I feel like he seems like a very nice guy, but I've never seen anything about Jimmy Carter where it's like, this would be a great hang. Like,
Yeah, he's just nice, I
like
guess.
probably not great to talk shit with. You know, like you could talk
Probably.
shit with Obama, you could talk shit
Yeah.
with Trump, talk shit with Reagan and Clinton. Probably couldn't talk shit with Jimmy Carter.
I don't think George Bush either. I don't know if that'd be good.
Oh, yeah, that's.
No, he'd be good.
I
You
forgot
think so?
about that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
that friend that always say the
Yeah.
dumbass shit and you just make fun of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh, W would be funny.
I think he's a
Yeah.
guy's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, politics aside, I feel like the man was talking about like the war in Afghanistan, and he's like, "We're going to find the terrorists. We're going to smoke them out." Now watch this.
I'm
Now
gonna
watch
stop
this
these terrorist
drive.
killers.
Yeah.
Now watch
Bro,
this
that
drive
shit-
all time.
That's one of the wildest clips of all time, dog. It's like a parody. That was oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, any other things about the Trump round?
I'd pay so much money for him to play Biden. Even still, like,
Can we agree on this, Big T? That motherfucker is not 230 pounds.
he?
Come on, cuz. This is what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, no, he.
'Cause he's taller. He's a little taller
He's
too.
he's
Come on,
he's
Kev.
260.
Yeah,
He's
thank you.
260.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
He's like
That's the-
6'3",
That's,
right?
the,
Yeah,
that's
he's
the
pretty
biggest
tall.
criticism I've seen of you in Trump. It is 260.
No, yeah. And his polo looked like looked like a not a well-made polo.
Yeah, swag
He needs
on.
he
on
needs to
the
get
road
Peter
right now.
Millar on board.
It looked a little
He's calling
stiff.
it aura
Yeah.
nowadays, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, my kids are like, "Oh, you got some aura, Dad." I'm like, "The fuck? Of course I do." But what? Are you
Oh no,
talking
yeah,
about?
that's big time if you got
Yeah.
aura.
You have
Yeah,
aura.
Yeah,
Arian, you have aura.
Of-
Aura
of
points
course.
up.
yeah.
Now that Arian's drinking coffee, you gained like 500 aura points.
spit at me, dog. This is what we're talking about right here, dog.
Who's the
Love
max
it.
aura? Who's got the most aura in the world?
Right now,
In the world?
Yeah.
that's
I
tough.
feel like Mad Dog's all over these points.
Mm-mm.
Denzel, dog.
It's a bit younger. That's more of like Arian's kids would be really into the aura thing.
Oh, they say that all the time.
Yeah.
Minus 1,000 aura, Dad. I'm like, shut your low ass up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start live updating when somebody loses aura.
Well, like Burrow lost a ton of aura
Oh.
when he cut his hair.
That man will not
He
provide
could
for
never
you.
lose aura.
But did he gain the aura back when he bleached
Nah,
his hair?
bring it
No.
back there. I see ya.
That man will not provide for you.
He's still handsome. Like there's just no going around.
Yeah,
it.
his face is great.
But he lost the hair flop thing.
The bleach. I
It
tweeted.
still looks good though.
I tweeted this yesterday. A man with a bleached buzz cut and an aesthetic Instagram dump will not provide for you. That's not how you win championships. Is the man who can post a photo dump.
I got a
Bengals
theory.
7 and 10.
When white boys be going with the blonde,
Yeah.
they going through something. Like that's like
Yes,
it's like a
for
cry
sure.
for help.
For
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Like when Britney shaved her head.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said white boys.
Yeah, I had a bleach blonde phase at one point in my life.
Were you going through something?
Well, I was in 7th grade.
But I think in the early 2000s that was like cool.
Oh, this wasn't early. 1998.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. I was bleach blonde for about a year solid. It was like, yeah, you're going through stuff when you're 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going through a lot of stuff. But yeah, I don't think he looks bad.
No.
Mm-mm.
I
Could
agree with the
never.
going through something though. Like, if Mackenzie, if like I was out and about and like saw a guy with like a bleached buzz in real life at a bar, I would be like, that man just broke up with his girlfriend. Or
Yeah, you
something.
making a statement. Yeah, you making a statement. You like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. That's, you know what I'm saying? You 1998 Slim Shady trying to piss off the world vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I would definitely be like, who just hurt you?
yeah, something's going on, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's your bad boy face. You
Yeah,
got a
it's a-
leather jacket
Yeah.
with zippers on and shit.
It's
Yeah.
your bad boy phase when you buzz your hair and you bleach it blonde. That's the dude equivalent, I think, of cutting your hair into extreme bangs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say that.
That's
Right?
true.
Yep.
I'm gonna try
Girls-
bangs.
Women do that all when they break up. They got to change their hair.
Yeah. It's well, hair holds memories. So sometimes you
that
just
true?
need to like
Like on some like
You're thinking about your brain.
Iowa Avatar shit.
It's close.
Iowa Avatar.
Awa. I'm sorry, Awa.
Oh, I don't
So
know.
like you know how like when they have this braid, I can't explain this
Yeah.
joke. When they got the braid and they attach it to Awa, you get the memories uploaded from her.
Oh, sure.
It was
Definitely.
a great joke that y'all just. It's cool.
Sorry.
Oh, you did say Iowa first too.
I did. I fucking. It's that fucking coffee. Well, I have like 7,000 words running through my mind at right now at the same time, and I just like the word grabber is just like, what do we do?
The word grabber. Yeah, girls, I have done that where it's like I break up with the guy and it's like you just need a fresh start. It's like it's a fresh slate. You kind of look different, you feel different. It's like I don't even look like the person I was when I was dating this person.
They're talking about Joe Burrow and they're calling him Slim Shiesty now.
Unfortunately, that works.
Does it?
I think that's.
What's
I mean,
the-
don't they
what's
call
the
him
shi-
Joe
what's the-
Joe
What is
Shiesty?
shiesty from? Is that from
They call him
Pooh?
Joe Shiesty.
They call him Joe Shiesty.
Is that from Pooh shiesty?
I think so.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
if you were a Bengals hater, you could call him 9 and 8 Mile. I think that's what their record was last year, right?
That's
I would
funny.
never say that.
That's
No.
funny.
I would have said that, but I met him before. And he was cool.
Now you love him.
I don't
had
love
aura.
him. I don't love him.
He has
I
aura.
think you kind of love him.
I think he was a cool guy.
Does he have aura, Jerry?
Yeah, you could feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it. I felt it as soon as we locked eyes. We felt it.
Does Rusty have aura?
I don't know yet.
No.
I don't know because I haven't really been in his presence. TJ had so much aura. He was just dripping aura.
I feel like if Rusty got Sierra, he definitely had to have aura.
Well, we know why. I mean, I mean, you never heard the story about Rusty?
I don't think so.
I mean,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So that's aura.
Is that aura?
I would think so.
I don't know. I don't know if that's
If
necessarily.
people know about it, it's aura.
that will.
Yes.
That's okay. So then you have to
Because then
compare.
people are talking.
You have to compare aura to big dick energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think Russ has big dick energy. Like he doesn't come across as someone as a big dick energy. But then maybe that
Wild
comes across
statement.
through his aura.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't
I
have
am not
big,
a Rusty fan. I'm not. Obviously, I'm not a Steelers fan. But
If you have big dick energy, it doesn't always mean that you have a big dick.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's why they
Yeah.
had,
Like
it's
that's
honestly
aura.
kind of embarrassing that you don't want people to say that you have big dick energy because
Then we
you would
know.
much rather them just in the sentence after big dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Energy's
Who
pointless.
cares about energy?
like they say, like Pete Davidson has big dick energy.
Energy
it's
never
just the way
made
you
a
walk
girl
into
come.
It's just the way you walk into the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Rusty, jury's still out on his aura.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fair. I'm glad that you are being honest.
Yeah.
about it. Speaking of big dick energy,
Yep.
this discussion about coffee is going to be brought to you by Blue Chew. Have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand with chewable versions of sildenafil, tadalafil, and vardenafil. Actually, this is a clean sweep. This is 3 for 3. I would like to have all 3 of these products in-house if we could. Could we get some of the squirt? It's the
Yeah.
summer of squirt.
Yes.
I want some squirt,
I've got the meat on the way.
the meat, and then
Meat, squirt, and BDE.
and also meat.
Yeah.
Different
Speaking of Russell Wilson.
meat supplements.
Meat, squirt, and then meat and squirt.
Meat
The good
supplement-
MSM.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just have. I was saying that I wanted just a gumdrop machine of Blue Chew in the office. Just on your way out of work, everyone pick some up. With Blue Chew, say goodbye to performance anxiety. Say hello to longer lasting erections. These erection enhancing ingredients like sildenafil, tadalafil, and vardenafil help men achieve stronger, harder, longer lasting erections for sexual activities. Blue Chew is all about having confidence when it comes time to perform and having happy and healthy relationships. Blue Chew subscriptions include a free online consultation, 24/7 medical support, a prescription if approved, and delivery straight to your door every month. Chew it and do it. Use code MACRO for your first month for free. First month free with code MACRO at BlueChew.com. Check them out. Thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring the pod. Just go to BlueChew.com, use promo code MACRO, and you get your first month for free. All right, let's talk coffee. Let's talk coffee, boys and girls. The history of caffeine. Arian is day one right now, and I'm so glad we get to go on your journey with you because we all remember our first experience with coffee. Caffeine was first discovered in China. It was 1000 BC, and it was in the form of tea. Now, some people say that Ethiopia found it first. There's legends and rumors out there. Some people say that there was an Ethiopian goat herder and saw his goat munching these plants, these little berries, and then the goat started like bouncing around after they ate it. And then the farmer was like, I want some of that, whatever. I'll have what he's having. But apparently China was all over it 1,000 years BC. The chemical compound of caffeine, it's called, I'm going to try to pronounce this, 1,3,7-trimethylxanthine. Sure. It was first isolated from the coffee bean by a German chemist in 1819. He experimented with coffee when writer and statesman Johann Wolfgang von Goethe was impressed by Friedlieb's previous experiments, and he brought him a carton of coffee beans. It was a delicacy at the time. They'd been sent by a Greek person, and apparently productivity went off the charts with this guy. Chemists discerned that the active ingredient in tea was the same substance that was found as runs caffeine from coffee.
Those dudes that discovered caffeine like 3,000 years ago, whatever, they probably got executed. Like, if you discover this thing that just makes people superheroes,
Yeah.
I mean, you were probably in some shit.
They call you a witch, maybe.
Yeah.
And burn you at the stake. You're making potions
Yeah.
over here. Yeah. Yeah, and caffeine, it is a drug. And Jerry, you are, how many years sober are you now?
9.
Congratulations,
Thank
Jerry.
you, thank
It's
you.
big stuff.
Yep.
So I know that maybe this is just from what I've seen on TV shows and movies
Mm-hmm.
about going to meetings and being in recovery.
Yep.
But from what I know, addicts tend to drink a shitload of coffee and
Yes.
smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And so it is a drug, but
Mhm.
it's an acceptable drug for recovery programs.
Yes, it is acceptable in recovery programs. I, on the other hand, I was never a coffee drinker, and I'd love for you to. I mean, maybe you can do some research really quick on your laptop or something. But when I first started drinking, because I would go to AA meetings and whatnot, and NA meetings when I first got sober, and I was introduced to coffee there. You know, that's just what everybody does. They have a set person that makes the coffee at these meetings, that provides the coffee and buys the coffee every week. It's like, you know, they volunteer to do that.
Okay.
And when I first had it, it had like the opposite effect on me. And it made me like actually depressed drinking it. I never got jittery. Like I never got like amped up, like hyped up. And
Yeah.
I was like locked in. It had the opposite. I was like a shell of myself. And I was like so down in the dumps and depressed from it. I don't know why. So I've stayed away from coffee for a long time. Occasionally I'll have a cup here and there, you know, but I'm not one of those guys that need coffee on a daily basis at all, or on a weekly basis or monthly basis.
I think just drugs affect people's brains in different ways.
Yeah, like that's even happened with crack cocaine for me. When I would smoke crack, I wouldn't get like super fast and like zooming around. I would be like so secluded and down and depressed. It had the opposite effect, which is really, so I don't really understand why my body reacts to drugs like that. I don't know.
Do you
Can I ask
think
you a question, bro?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's a genuine inquiry.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fine.
Because like, okay, I love to have a drink, right? I love to have a, you know what I'm saying? And the reason mostly why I drink is because I have kind of been closed off emotionally. For whatever reason, it was like a defense mechanism growing up. Like being emotional was kind of, being emotionally vulnerable was not beneficial to me, you know, from my view. And so I was very hardened emotionally. And so over time that just developed where I was very hard. Like I had no emotion. And so when I drank, it opened me up in a way that I never really experienced. And so I was very I was that lovey-dovey drunk. Like when I was younger, I was like, hey man, I love you. That was me, right? And so it felt great though. It felt great to be able to express myself in that emotional way. But the alcohol was the catalyst. I'm curious as to your experience about crack, because it's a very like demonized drug.
Yeah.
Like as far as like, you know, this like, oh, you're a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff, especially growing up. And so like, what was your experience and why do you feel like it was something that you kept?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all mental. It is so with different types of drugs, like heroin or prescription pills, that's like a physical withdrawal when you don't have it. Like your body actually hurts.
Gotcha.
With crack cocaine, it is a mental, like the withdrawal is a mental withdrawal. There's nothing physical like, you know, a heroin withdrawal where you're sick, throwing up, using the bathroom and stuff like that. But with crack cocaine, it's just all mental. But I think the reason you chase it is because the first time, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would agree that have done it, which I don't think anybody should do it. It's a terrible drug. The feeling you get from the first time you do it is like a rush of dopamine to your brain. It's like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. And about 60 seconds later, it goes away. So the crack high is like a minute, 2 minutes tops.
Oh, really?
And then,
Doesn't it last that?
No, that crystal meth is the one that lasts for hours.
Gotcha.
Crack cocaine lasts about probably 2 minutes tops. So you have to think about it like this. Okay, after 2 minutes, you go back to like, oh my God, I want to feel like that again. So you're just constantly just chasing and chasing and chasing until, you either die, get locked up, or go get help,
I guess that was my anchor because
Yeah.
I know how good alcohol feels. Right?
Yes.
And I'm not like an alcoholic, but I know how it feels.
Yeah.
So crack, like people lose their families over that shit. So I
Oh,
know
yeah.
it has to feel amazing. I guess it's hard to admit, knowing the damage that it causes.
Oh, yeah. No, and it happens quick, too.
Yeah.
It happens really fast, which is scary.
Becomes the most important thing in your life.
Oh,
right?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, you don't give a fuck about anything else.
Yeah, that's right.
There's been times where I went like 5-6 days without even drinking water or eating.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know the answer to your question about like when you had caffeine or when you had.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like why it brings you down. I just got to assume that different chemicals hit people's brains in different
Differently,
ways.
right?
And also, if you were drinking coffee like post smoking crack,
Mm-hmm.
that might have thrown off like some of your dopamine levels or something like that.
I could see that.
Where now like a stimulant hits you and it doesn't affect you the same
it's
way.
weird. Yeah.
Like maybe you've like all the super high level dopamine receptors were burned out using crack.
Possibly,
and then
yeah.
caffeine, which is like an ant compared to a T-Rex.
Yeah.
It's not going to make a dent.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's why. That's a good point. I never thought about it like that.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. That's just me guessing.
Yeah.
So coffee, it was brought over from Ethiopia to Yemen. It was taken to the Arabian Peninsula, and they were chewing a lot of cat back then.
Chewing cat?
Not the animal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a plant. It's
Okay.
spelled,
Okay.
That's probably very confusing when I put it that way. But there's a plant called cat, KHAT. It's like a stimulant. It's like a mild version of amphetamines.
Okay.
And so when you go overseas, there's certain countries in the Middle East that have cat cafes.
Okay.
Not like these weirdos here in the United States that have cat cafes and you bring your cat to them or whatever.
Gotcha.
But they have cafes where people go in, they chew cat. Excuse me. They chew cat and then they just talk for like hours.
They're chewing the plant.
Chewing the plant.
Okay,
then
gotcha.
You just talk for like hours on end.
Gotcha.
So some places started to run out of cat, and then coffee started to become a good alternative to that because it had a similar effect of giving you a bunch of energy that went into it. And Big T, you actually made a pretty good point earlier when you said that you would be called like Satan or a witch.
Yeah.
So when the first goat herder, his name was Caldy, when he discovered these coffee beans and the berries, he ate them, and then he took the berries to a monk, and the monk called them demonic, based on the description of their effects. But then this goat herder was like, "No, you gotta try it though. You gotta try it for yourself." So he brewed the berries, and the monk started drinking it, and he was like, "This is pretty fucking good. This is good stuff." And so the monk immediately became an instant convert, and then he started spreading the word about coffee.
That's started my origin story. This is good stuff.
Yeah, you're deep in it now.
I think I'm here. I already started thinking about like, okay, we got to try different brews. We got to try different things. I'm already thinking about it.
You're leveling up fast. You're gonna get like a French
I
press.
I think I'm done. I think I'm officially a convert. Yeah,
You're gonna get an espresso machine put into your house. Yeah,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good times.
Start your own coffee label.
I don't know about all that.
Okay.
Hey, interesting fact though. So like during the goat herder things that you're talking about, they also think that it could have been a pesticide too, because caffeine. I don't know if you're gonna get to this, but caffeine is toxic to insects. Like it overloads their central nervous systems to where they can't consume too much before they pass.
Yeah, have you ever seen the diagram? They gave spiders different types of drugs, and then had them weave their web.
Yeah.
And if you look at that, I don't know how they conducted this experiment. I don't know, like if there was a scientist that was just like putting a teardropper of heroin or something onto a spider. But when you compare it to a normal spider's web versus a spider web on marijuana versus one on benzos versus one on caffeine, the caffeine is the most fucked up web by far. This spider is just tweaking out. This spider does not know what the fuck is going on. So yeah, it is like an insecticide. The craziest one to me though is the spider on LSD. Have you, look at this, Jerry. So there's the spider normal, sleeping pills, caffeine, fucked up web there, benzos, weed, and then the LSD one is just kind of trippy.
Yeah.
It's like the spider.
He got creative with it.
Yeah.
The spider's like hallucinating going through it. So yeah, it is. It's definitely it's a pesticide. It fucks with insects. So it if we're gonna get scientific with it, it's similar to your own body's neuromodulator adenosine. And the molecules are water and fat soluble in caffeine, so they easily cross the blood-brain barrier. That means that your brain absorbs caffeine very efficiently. It's not like hard for it to get into there. So caffeine binds to those receptors, and it blocks adenosine from being received at the same time. So caffeine doesn't only block the adenosine's ability to slow nerve activity. The adenosine it's stuff in your brain that like makes you calm, makes you like a little bit tired. And caffeine blocks that from being received into your brain. But it also increases nerve activity. So it blocks the sleepy stuff from hitting your brain while amping up your nerve activity. So you get stimulated, alert, energetic, and sometimes you get jitters if you have too much of it. And Arian, I don't want to scare you,
No, thanks.
but you're going to have to shit soon.
No, it makes you boo boo.
It makes you poop.
Oh yeah.
Caffeine makes you poop.
It's like diarrhea though, is it?
No,
Oh, well, I'm straight.
It
It's all
gets
good.
it
You'll
just
just-
gets the system moving.
you'll just have to poop quickly.
You'll take
That's
a
a good
gnarly
thing.
poop.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a cup of coffee like first thing when you wake up, take care of your poop, good to go for the rest of the day.
Love that. I love
Clears
that.
you right out.
Oh, by the way, this spider experiment, I was just looking up a little bit. It was originally a NASA experiment.
I love that. I love
Yes,
that
so-
NASA's just drugging spiders.
Yeah, they were looking up to see the different effects on drugs, and that's pretty cool.
So Jerry, here in this fact sheet, it does say so levels of dopamine in your brain
Yep.
are manipulated by coffee much like they are by heroin and cocaine,
Wow.
but to a very a lower degree. Caffeine increases dopamine levels by slowing down the rate of dopamine reabsorption. Researchers suspect that dopamine connection is what contributes to caffeine addiction. So you definitely can get addicted to coffee, but
Yeah.
there's
My mom is bad.
How much does she have?
If she doesn't have it by like 8:30 in the morning, she'll start to get something that she calls a caffeine headache,
Yeah,
where she starts to get a pounding headache. So she drinks about 3 cups a day.
yeah, 8:30 is pretty early to get that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's got to be like one of the
Well,
first things
she's
to
been
take.
at the same job for close to 20 something years now, and she has the same routine every single day, where she's at the Dunkin' Donuts at like 6:30.
Yeah.
She drinks her coffee, goes in the office, has another one, and then goes about her day and whatnot. But yeah, she says if she doesn't have it by like 8:30 in the morning, she'll start to get a pounding headache really bad.
Yeah, it'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Big T, are you a coffee drinker?
No.
I don't think I've ever seen you with a mug.
I don't-
You would look good with just a mug in your hand all the time.
So I don't like coffee, first of all, but like I can tolerate it. It's just not. I don't love it. But also, I don't really feel like the effects of caffeine. Really, like when I drink a Coke or something, I don't
Here
feel.
he go with this bullshit.
What?
You used to say that I don't be getting drunk, and then we went to Dago, got your ass lit.
Yeah, because I intentionally sat there drinking liquor for 4 hours trying to get
You
drunk.
6'4" with size 18 shoes.
I am not
Of course, going
pal. I'm 6'5" and a half.
6'5", excuse me, but
Don't ever say 6'4" again.
6'6" with
goodness.
fucking size 18 feet. It's gonna take a little
17.
bit more, man.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I'd have to drink a ton of coffee and
Get
like.
you a big mug and enjoy the ride, brother, because I'm here. I'm a coffee guy now.
But
Day one.
and I don't want my piss smelling like coffee the rest of the day.
What?
Does
I
that
don't.
happen?
Oh, is that a thing?
Oh yeah, for me anyway.
Does it matter what your piss smells like?
Yeah.
It's just
Asparagus
I don't know.
pee is the most noticeable. Where it's like this is
Yeah, I hate
weird.
that.
It's weird,
It's a weird thing.
but I mean, your coffee smelling like piss. If that's what you're worried
No,
about.
you don't want
It's
your
not.
coffee
It's
smell
not my
like piss.
primary concern. It's just an additional.
See,
Piss
you're thinking.
smell
You're
like
saying
coffee.
that you've had bottles of Coke before, but you got to have some coffee.
I've had coffee.
You gotta have a cup of Joe.
Is that what they call it? Where's that from?
That's a good question.
Cup
I don't
of
think
Joe.
that we looked into that this week.
Cup of Joe.
Arian wants to know everything about coffee now.
We could probably.
I'm here.
Where'd that
I
come
am-
from?
I am worshiping at the altar of the bean right now, bro.
Ooh.
Pause.
Pause.
Oh fuck!
Wait.
What y'all call the bean? What's the bean?
Wait, what's the bean? Why is that pause?
It-
We're talking about clitoris, right?
Yeah.
That's not pause.
Okay,
That's
hey,
fast forward.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of a pause. That's a
Yeah.
play button.
Yeah,
You move forward with that one.
yeah.
Fair
So
enough.
the most common bean, I think, is the Arabica bean. That's what most people drink. But you know why they call it Java?
Mm-mm.
They call it Java because I think it was like the Dutch or something. They took a bunch of coffee to Indonesia, then they started growing it there, and they're like, yeah, this is just called Java, and Java is the name of an island in Indonesia. So they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna name it after ourselves. There's a big port that exported a lot of coffee, and it was called Mocha. Has nothing to do with chocolate. It was just a port that was called Mocha.
Oh wow.
So that eventually came to be called like chocolate coffee. So what percentage of people do you think drink caffeine daily?
62.
62.
I saw the answer.
Aaron,
I'm
did you see the
going
answer?
with. No, I didn't see the answer. I'm gonna go with because of today. I'm gonna up my percentage. I'm gonna go with 75.
You had it at 74 until you started, and then you're like, yeah, it's
No, I was
75.
gonna go like 54.
Okay.
But if it tastes this good,
Mad Dog Mac, any guesses?
I'm gonna go 54.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the 50s, like 58 maybe.
we talk about adults
Caffeine daily.
because like kids obviously ain't gonna drink coffee.
Right. We'll talk 18 and over.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with 70. Okay, 70, not 75. 70.
It's 90%.
What?
Holy shit.
90?
According to Harvard University, that's what they said.
Holy shit.
The average caffeine consumption is about 135 milligrams per day. That's like 1.5 cups of coffee. Yeah. Michael Pollan wrote a book, Caffeine, How Coffee and Tea Created the Modern World. And he said that it's baseline human consciousness to have caffeine. You can actually look back. So, you know what the Dark Ages were? Dark Ages were basically when like no new art or literature was created. I think it was like 1,000 years. I want to say 500 to 1,500 or something like that. And people just like stopped learning and growing. A lot of people think that maybe those years didn't exist, which is something we should talk about. The lost time conspiracy. I think it has actually origins in either anti-Catholic or anti-Semitic roots if you go like deep down that wormhole enough. But some people think that there were just like 1,000 years that we said happened that didn't actually happen. And so like they made up the people that lived in those time periods. I don't know if it's true or not. Probably not true. But around like the 1400s, 1500s, the Enlightenment started, where people started doing scientific discoveries. That's when science really began, was during the Enlightenment. And it was at that time where coffee shops were opening up and displacing some of the bars. So pretty much from like 500 to 1500, there were just bars everywhere and people were drunk all the time. And then coffee shops opened up and people started having more energy in their day. They started thinking harder, started working more. And that's what made the Enlightenment happen, which is kind of crazy to think about. There were probably a number of different factors in it. Probably not all caffeine. But yeah, there's a lot of positives to coffee throughout history. Also, it was originally like a religious sacrament. So monks would use coffee to help them pray or meditate. And Buddhists would do that too. They would drink tea. Mormons are advised to avoid coffee and tea or hot drinks, any hot drinks, if you're Mormon. The Word of Wisdom is a section of the Doctrine and Covenants. They say avoid hot drinks, but younger Mormons are drinking more and more coffee. There's an epidemic of caffeine use amongst young Mormons.
Well, they go crazy on sodas.
They do.
They have those drink restaurants.
Soda shops, yeah.
Oh, I want to go to one so bad. They've got crazy stuff.
Swig.
Yeah.
What's Swig?
Swig is one
That's
of the main
Utah soda
pop
place.
shop, I guess.
So you go in and it's like the 1950s. You go up to the bar and you're like, soda
No.
jerk, mix me a malt.
No, it's like it's basically a, let's call it Coke freestyle machine, but I don't know what the specifics is. Every pop you can think of, and then every like syrup flavor you could think of, or
Okay.
like cream. So they'll do like Dr. Pepper and coconut cream, or like
They put
Mountain-
coffee creamer in sodas.
Yeah, or like Mountain Dew and like cherry syrup. Like
These
make these
sound good.
insane concoctions.
I'm in.
And they get them in like 42-ounce huge ass cups. And then I don't think they serve like real meals there. They serve like chocolate chip cookies and like pretzel sticks, like little snacks.
Yeah, I'm in.
It's like a little like snack place.
I'm on their website right now. The dirty SOP is Dr. Pepper, coconut, and peach. The naughty and nice is Dr. Pepper, English toffee, and half. A bunch of stuff like that. Strawberry puree with Dr. Pepper, vanilla, and coconut cream. That's a spring fling.
I would drink all these.
Yeah, there's, everything you can imagine. It's like Sonic on steroids.
I'm in. Say less, Mormons. I might be one of you.
Hey, real quick. I figured
yeah.
out where Cup of Joe came from.
Okay.
There's a bunch of different theories, but this is the one I've narrowed it down as probably the most accurate. Martison's coffee was Joe's coffee is what they call it. So Martison Coffee had trademarked the term Cup of Joe, suggesting that the term comes from the company's early years. Founded in New York in 1898 by Joe Martison, who had, I guess, a bigger-than-life personality. And the coffee may have been locally called Joe's Coffee or a Cup of Joe. And as the company grew, Cup of Joe could have expanded from the local nickname. And it was widely used like in the 1930s. And there was another one that made a lot of sense, was Joe Daniels banned alcohol on a lot of the Navy ships like in 1914. And so in substitution of alcohol, they drunk coffee. And so like because couldn't drink alcohol, it's like, let's have a cup of Joe. That makes sense as well. Those are the two that made the most sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. So Joe might have just gotten it named after himself.
Shout out to Joe.
Shout out Joe. The American Revolution is tied in with coffee too. So the Boston Tea Party was 1773. They dumped a fuckload of tea into the harbor, and then right afterwards, our protest. It was the original "Go woke, go broke."
Yeah, facts.
We stopped drinking tea in America. We switched over to coffee because we're like, "Fuck you, we're not drinking your tea."
That makes me want to become a coffee guy.
Yeah, are you un-American?
You don't ask me that.
King
That's
George.
offensive.
King George is going to come kick down your door and fuck you up. But no, it's the truth. So John Adams wrote a letter to his wife. That's so sweet that like a husband was writing a letter to his wife. And he talked about how much he loved tea, but he said that he's going to have to learn to embrace coffee instead because drinking tea is unpatriotic. And so then everyone in America drank tea or drank coffee. Caffeine was also big in the Industrial Revolution. When the nature of work changed from a schedule built around the sun to an indoor job, humans had to adapt. So people wouldn't be able to work night shifts typically. Some people are night owls, so people just stay up all night, and that's kind of the pattern they fall into. But for most human beings, you can't work night shifts unless you have some help with caffeine. So when jobs moved indoors and you didn't have the sun to tell you what time it was, people started drinking a shitload of caffeine. That allowed people to cope with the work schedule that was not set by the daylight or the natural sleep cycle. And coffee and tea caught on in Europe as the first factories were ushering in the Industrial Revolution. The widespread use of caffeinated drinks replacing beer facilitated the great transformation of human economic endeavor from the farm to the factory. Boiling water to make coffee or tea helped decrease the incidence of disease among workers in crowded cities, and the caffeine in their systems kept them from falling asleep on the machinery. Caffeine is the drug that made the modern world possible. That makes sense to me. Like you have factory jobs, you need people to stay awake. Give them some fucking caffeine. Before that, it wouldn't have been possible. The coffee break was invented in the 1940s. There's a Denver tie-making company called the Wigwam Weavers. And in the 1940s...
That's a fire name of whatever that is.
Wigwam Weavers? Yeah, it is cool, right?
Fun to say.
Yeah. In the 1940s, the weavers from the company got enlisted in the armed forces to serve in World War II, leaving behind a predominantly female workforce. The women found it challenging to keep up with the demanding work without regular breaks. In response, the company's management decided to introduce short breaks during the workday to allow weavers to rest, stretch their legs, and to have a cup of coffee. Coffee breaks were beneficial. They provide relaxation, but also offered opportunity to socialize and share ideas. The practice spread from the Wigwam Weavers to other workplaces. The owner of the Wigwam Weavers, Phil Greenitz, made the coffee breaks mandatory, but he said he didn't need to pay his workers for the half hour they were on break. That led to a lawsuit from the Department of Labor, and in 1956, Federal Appeals Court enshrined the coffee break in American life, where you can take a coffee break and stay on the clock for it. We, as a union guy, Jerry,
We had a coffee money.
Coffee money?
Yeah, so they'd put it was $1.50 every day. We would get it in our check at the end of the week in coffee money.
They paid you guys
Yes,
to
coffee
drink
money.
coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible.
And then would you get a break to drink it?
10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah,
So you get a coffee break and they paid for
and
it.
they paid for your 15 minutes of drinking coffee. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah. It was in our check. Let me see if I could pull up a pay
$1.50.
stub.
What other stuff did you get added into your check?
That was the craziest thing. But like nothing really else. Like we had double time, triple time.
Yeah.
Which triple time is pretty crazy. Rest time, you get paid for resting.
How does
So
that work?
okay, so if I worked 7 to 3, right? That was my shift, 7 to 3.
Yeah.
And then I signed up for a thing called standby. That would be if there was an emergency that came in, I would get called on my separate phone. Hey, Jerry, you need to come in. There's a gas leak. No problem. Say I get called at, I don't know, let's say 12 o'clock in the nighttime. Call me, Jerry, wake up. Come on, you got to get to the office. Get there. I work now, let's say 8 hours. I'm going to have the next day full rest. I don't have to come into work, and I still get paid for that day.
For rest time.
For rest
recovering.
time. Yeah. And then there's been times where I did some scamming where the supervisor would be like, hey, because you couldn't work more than 8 hours on that. And sometimes the job wouldn't be finished in 8 hours. It would take 12 hours. And then he would say, okay, time to go home for rest. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving until the job is finished. Then there's a thing where you get triple pay, triple time, which is work through rest. So I would always try to scam the work through rest.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean if you're working through rest that you didn't need the rest?
Yeah, supervisors would get really pissed off.
Yeah.
Like really, really mad. But it's your job. Like I would just say, hey, the job site's nuts. We can't stop working on this gas leak.
Yeah.
I can't just stop and have another crew come in because there's gas that's leaking right now. I can't stop what I'm doing, have these guys come in and risk something happening. So we would always push back on them. Like, we ran the job. They were supposed to supervise the job, but we actually ran the job. And there would be times where, like, we'd try to stick it to them and say, oh, no, we're going to work through this. And then you had meal money. This is another one that was really cool. So meals.
Yeah.
My shift was 7 to 3. If I work past 5:30, I get paid $13.50 for a meal. So I go to a job site, 7 o'clock, show up, work till 6 o'clock. The job is done, finished. I get $13.50 added into my paycheck. Not only that, we would go for our meal. We would go to a diner. We would go to a whatever sports bar. We would go somewhere to eat. So we would sit down, eat. The whole time we're getting paid for it. We eat. We don't try to really take advantage of that, but we'd eat for like an hour and a half, and then we go home. So we would get paid the $13.50. That would cover our meal, which it never really did. But after that, sit there for like half hour. I had this one foreman who was a big time scammer. He would always want to wait to watch reruns of Jeopardy. So he was a big time drunk. And I won't say his name or anything, but he was a big time drunk. And there's been times where I would have to say to him like, "Hey man, we've been here for like 4 or 5 hours. We should probably get out of here." You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, we're good, we're fine." But never got in trouble, nothing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Had each other's backs.
Yeah.
Don't tell, right?
No.
No
The
snitches?
union is very it's different. It's a different world.
They make it clear that
Oh,
when you're with us, you're with us.
Oh yeah, there's times where we've shut down and stopped working. You know,
Yeah.
And it gets scary too. It gets scary, man. It's like, dude, are we gonna like lose our jobs over? Like, what are we doing here? Like, we gotta go out and work. It's like, nah, fuck that. We ain't working in this rain. There's been times where they tried to like force us to go out and work, and it clearly states in our contract, one drop, we stop.
Yeah. They
That's
can't
it.
fire all of you, too.
No,
If you all just decide
oh
not to
no,
do it.
no.
Arian, real quick, back to the Cup of Joe thing. I did not realize this, but during the Revolutionary War, there was an American inventor that made instant coffee with like the super tiny little crystals. Do you know, excuse me, not the Revolutionary War, it was World War I. Do you know what this inventor's name was?
Joe Biden.
George Washington.
You were kind of close.
Yeah, his name was George Washington, and he invented instant coffee, and he did it to help soldiers in World War I, which is wild. So he sent it overseas. A soldier wrote from the trenches in 1918, "It only takes a minute to light my little oil heater and make some George Washington coffee." And then they started calling it a cup of George. And then that ended up becoming a cup of Joe later on. Yeah, so coffee has also spurred civil wars and coups in Guatemala, Latin America. It was along the same lines as the Banana Republic stuff, where American interests get involved because of these large plantations. And then we just go and start a war there, have a little coup to their government so that we can make money off their coffee. And then everything's happy, and everyone lives happily ever after that. Brazil was also founded on coffee and slavery. So Brazil brought a lot of slaves to South America, mostly so that they could work on the coffee plantations. And that became like the basis of Brazil's economy for a long time. It was all based around coffee, all based around the slave trade because of coffee. So coffee, love it. Big T, I think you should have a cup of coffee our next episode.
Next time Arian's in town, I'll drink coffee with him.
Okay.
Let's fucking do it.
We'll do it. We'll do some Stella Blue tasting.
I'm down. I need somebody with experience though, because like I said, Shorty made this. I don't know what was in it. She said something about creamers and I don't know what a creamer is, so but I'm down. Let's do it.
You could figure it
It's
out.
very simple.
Pause.
So you can make coffee? You know how to make it?
Yeah.
I could make it in a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make it. I feel like I'm being judged here. I don't know about coffee.
So
I know
there's
this. Y'all told me not to get another cup, but after we're done here, I'm definitely gonna go get one more cup.
Yeah. Let me know how your evening goes after that.
They're called.
I don't.
You can get K cups too, which is just like a little cup that you put into the machine. Then you close the lid, and it brews it pretty much all on its own.
I can't.
Yeah, it just depends
I can't
on
wait
what.
to go on this drive. I think because like you hear all these wars being fought over this shit. It's like this is the real deal here.
I think coffee might be the number one food or drink that if it disappeared off the face of the earth tomorrow, like there would be wars and riots in the streets.
Yeah,
Like if beef disappeared, like that would really suck, but people would like figure it out.
you probably figure it out.
If coffee disappeared, people would lose their minds.
Coffee is also really the only drug that people haven't fought to ban.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause it's too good.
even the biggest like what do they call them?
Teetotalers?
Teetotalers. They're just like, yeah, but we're gonna have our coffee. Like, don't drink any of the other stuff, but let's not go too far here. Let's
There's
keep the
two
coffee.
things that I've never done because I just never liked it, but I've always thought that looked cool as shit. drinking coffee, I always thought it looked cool as shit. You know, you pull up to a coffee shop or something like that. You a regular, like, yo, let me get my blah 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 espresso with the woot, right? All that. Everybody got their own little shit. I always thought it looked cool. You sit in a coffee shop with a book and you drink your coffee. Always looked dope to me. The other one is smoking cigarettes. Horrible for you, but it looks cool as shit, right? And so coffee is like, I'm not going to try to do cigarettes. It's never been my vibe. But I think I'm in. I think I'm in. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm now part of it. I'm gonna grab me a book. I'm gonna go be a local somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find me a local coffee shop and go sit down and read a book, 3-4 times a week, order my same shit, say what's up to the waiter or waitress. It's gonna be my vibe.
Barista?
Yeah. I'm entering a fun part of adulthood where like I'm a coffee guy now.
I like that for you. I love that for you so much. Congratulations, Arian.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
I was just looking up some coffee shops near you, seeing what you would go to. I'm not
slightly creepy, but also
I'm not gonna say where you live, but I'm
nice.
trying to see which one I feel like is your
it's like
vibe.
nice, but it's kind of creepy. But it's nice though. It's like same, but different.
I bet you could get a good cup of coffee at your club and then have it in your cart while you play.
Ooh, I never even thought about playing golf while I'm drinking this shit.
Come on, coffee.
That might be nice. Yo. Hey, hold up.
Everything's gonna be different. Reading.
You gotta get on the iced coffee though.
Because so I have a trouble with reading to where it's like I love reading, but I have to force myself to read because it literally puts me to sleep. I love the information that I get from the book, but it always like starts to put me to sleep. I always usually read towards bedtime because it'll put me to bed, but you get something out of it.
You're gonna be
if I'm fucking really. I have a book right here. If I'm really like on it, I could power through these shits. Big brain.
You're gonna be so much more active online in the mornings.
That's what we fucking.
There's gonna be some caffeine tweets coming out from Arian.
It's facts. These are facts.
I can't wait. I'm actually envious of you, getting to experience it for the first time.
It's gonna be new me. Who this?
Every experience will be different under the bright lights of caffeine.
All right, let's talk like the real sexually. Am I fucking something up here?
No.
What?
And
Wait,
enhances
what
that
did you just say?
Sometimes certain drugs can cause impotence. I'm saying, am I treading in those waters? But if y'all saying that it's gonna help that too,
just get some Blue Chew. You'll be good.
Yeah.
We out here, dogs.
No, it's like heavy stimulant use definitely does. Like if you take like a shitload of Adderall.
Is that the same? Is Adderall have cap? Is Adderall? I'm not a chemist.
No,
it's got meth.
It's like a hardcore stimulant. But if you just drink coffee, no, you should be fine.
Rated a monster.
Well, the only downside would be if you have too much caffeine, you can give like racing heart, palpitations.
Yeah, that'll probably be my vibe.
You can get jittery. You can get anxiety if you have too much caffeine.
Okay, saying anxiety gives me anxiety. Relax.
Okay, but if you have moderate amounts of caffeine, then you're good. You're just gonna have a great life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not have to. I'll be looking at Amazon for coffee products and different. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. Well, thank you guys for going on Arian's coffee journey with him. I'm happy to see where this leads. It's like Oppenheimer. You're about to become like. What if you're just like super smart scientifically, and you come out with some crazy ass inventions and shit?
Terrence Howard vibes. 1 × 1 = 2 on y'all head.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week on Macrodosing. See you Tuesday. Thank you, Jerry, for joining us.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, dog.
Love you guys.